to get out.
Working with different elected officials, learning and understanding how to put the community first.
Hello and welcome to Keeping It Real with Shannon. Tonight is Hot Topics Real Talk. And we have invited some panelists on to help us talk about this hot topic because you know it's going to be trouble. So let's welcome Jacqueline Renard Rivera, Tiffany Shannon, all the way from across the ocean, Jenny Cook from Ireland. Hello, everybody. How are
Hi.
you? How's everybody?
Good.
Well, look, the hot topic to start off with tonight is the removal of our masks. Our governor said here in the United States, with President Biden and all of them said that we can take off our masks now. Now, personally, me, I got a concern about that because I think it's really too soon to be taking off a mask fully. Even though they say you outside, you can go in if you're fully vaccinated. But my problem is, how do I know the person next to me is vaccinated? So it's an issue. And then I think there's going to be arguments because now they're allowing the restaurants to make the decision of where they want the people to come in the restaurant with the mask. So I was in the restaurant the other day getting food. So the guy came in with no mask on. So the owner said, "You can't come in here without a mask on." And he was saying, "Well, no, we don't have to put on no mask now." And he said, "No, I have a sign up saying you have to have a mask on." And he said, "I'm here to pick up my food." And he said, "Well, I don't care. You're not coming in here without a mask on." Mm-hmm. So I'm looking. So my friend gave him a mask. So then I'm looking at her and I said, "You know what? This is going to be a problem."
Yeah,
I'm sorry. This is going to be a big problem.
Well, I'm with you, Lottie, because even with the mask restriction, like you said, you don't know who's who, and now you got a lot of CDC counterfeit cards going around. There's no way to measure and manage of who's really got fully vaccinated. So that's the next problem that we have to deal with.
Exactly. They're going by the honor system to let people try to be honest and say that I'm vaccinated to be next to you. I'm not comfortable at this moment yet. I prefer to keep my mask on because I don't know if people are still spreading it, because they say a lot of people, a certain percentage of people are vaccinated, but I'm still not comfortable yet.
I'm not comfortable either. I'm going to keep my mask on. Yes. I mean, at the end of the day, people just got vaccinated. You don't even know if the vaccination really is truly working yet.
Right.
To be saying take off your mask and they want to act like this never happened.
Yeah.
Let's just move on.
And there's an incubation period after you get vaccinated. You know,
we've been with the mask so long, and it became a mandatory thing, and it was a safeguard. Right. And now just it's like telling me to strip naked. I need to have my mask in certain places because I'm a little leery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, what are you still wearing masks in Ireland, Lenny?
Well, Ireland is a little bit more strict than America. And just for tonight, I showed you the mask. That's me there. So I carry that around all the time with me in case I forget my mask. And I also carry like a mask just in case as well, you know. So we have to wear masks now if we go indoors. So if you go into a shop, we have to wear a mask. If you go to a museum, you have to wear a mask. If you go onto public transport, you have to wear a mask. So masks are still mandatory inside for us. We're very strict, and it's probably going to be maybe August before we sort of get back to a little bit of normality, you know.
Mm-hmm. But Lenny, are the people in Ireland reluctant to get the vaccine?
Yes, Vanessa. So some of them are, like skeptical of the vaccine. You've got probably, a few of my friends there, like they say they're not going to get the vaccine, but like you're going to have to, if you want to travel, you're going to have to get the vaccine if you want to travel or anything like that, So they started with the health workers first, so they got them vaccinated, and they started with the elderly people, and gradually they're working their way down now. So right now we're down around whoever is 50 years of age, they can register to get vaccinated now, So that's where we are now. So last week I registered for the first time,
Right.
But see, the thing about it is with the mask. Well, you know what? I've become so comfortable with it now until I feel naked when I don't have it on. It's like I
Exactly.
still have that. I still have that kind of like fear when I go outside. Not fear, but I still feel like I should have it on. I'm still not feeling like comfortable just to take it off. I mean, I understand. I see people how happy they are. I
Yeah.
see, they just like happy like little pigs in the sunshine because now they don't have to put their mask on.
Yes.
But then I'm still saying like, okay, you might be all happy and everything, but like
Stop
with
coughing.
Vanessa said, or that was Jackie said that we just got vaccinated. Tiffany said we just got vaccinated. So, and everybody has not been vaccinated, and there's a lot of people who have no intention of getting vaccinated.
Yeah, and well,
So
buses
then, how do
and
we know?
stores.
So how do we know? Like, okay, we can go inside to an event or to a restaurant that's crowded. 'Cause let me tell you, they are still having events with a lot of people there.
Yeah.
I went to a meeting at a restaurant right here in Bed-Stuy, and it's a huge restaurant. They have a yard outside. They have like 3 floors on the inside and everything. So there was a popular DJ who was celebrating his birthday, and he had it there and he advertised it, like on Facebook and his social media, and the people was coming from everywhere. So, but just as I finished my meeting and turned around, the place was packed. There was people from everywhere, standing room on it, and then the line was outside when I come out, and I was like, and they walking around, half of them didn't have on no mask. And the ones that did have masks, it was under their chin. And they was just acting like it was okay. I couldn't understand it. And then the guy gonna say to me, since I was inside already, I wouldn't have had to pay to get in because I was already inside. So he was like, "Oh, you're not gonna stay?" I was like, I ain't gonna stay. I'm getting out of here.
It's like a cesspool.
There's
Too many people.
Exactly.
There was about 1,200 people there. I'm telling you, no
Wow.
joke.
Oh my goodness.
And I said, oh no. Now y'all can stay in here and want to party and drink and be dead tomorrow or whatever, but not me. I'm leaving.
But you know the funny thing about it, when you leave it up to the restaurants to have the discretion to wear the mask now you gotta look at it. Is it gonna be profit after a huge loss of idea being closed?
Yeah.
Or worry about the people have their personal problems. If they're gonna wear the mask tonight. So
I don't think these restaurants they're just gonna allow the people to do whatever they want to do because they want the money.
They want that revenue.
And they don't want to fight with the people either.
No.
Exactly.
When we first started this whole mask thing, it was a fight in the stores about wearing masks.
Yeah. I think that if I was going to an event that I saw more than 100 people, I'm not going to it because I feel uncomfortable because that a certain percentage of people are not wearing masks and are not vaccinated. I'm scared to know that I can contract it again. So I'm just going to keep my mask on.
I think they should have waited. I think they should have waited to at least past the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then say gradually, you can start taking your mask off. Now, because when the hot weather comes, what that brings when hot weather comes. And people want to go to the beach. And so they're gonna be on the beach. You remember the scene down in Florida where everybody was from everywhere out there on the beach, packed on top of each other with no mask on or nothing.
But Lenny, but in Ireland, are the people more or less compliant to wear the mask?
Most of the people would be, most of the people, but you still have a few people that wouldn't wear them. We only opened up hair salons last week. Okay, so from December, pretty much from the end of December, hair salons were closed right up until last week. We only opened up shops on Monday, so right up until then, it was only essential shops were open. Same like with funerals, there's only a certain amount of people to go into funerals. Weddings, we're very, very strict here, and really we're not going to really sort of open up until June 2nd. So you can't go to a hotel. So you can't stay in a hotel unless it's essential.
Yeah.
You can't go to a bed and breakfast unless it's essential. So that's going to open up on June 2nd, and people will be allowed to travel. We were only allowed to stay inside 5 kilometers as well. So no gyms are open. So the gyms won't be open until June 7th either. So,
Wow.
so travel, we won't be able to travel probably until August at the earliest. That's what the government is saying now at the moment.
Lenny, what was the death toll like in Ireland? Was it?
The death toll, I think, was close to 5,000. So just a little bit short of 5,000. You know, so our biggest number was about 101, and that was probably in the first week of February, something like that. So generally, we get a few deaths a day, and then average cases there probably, like at the moment, they're probably around 400, something like that a day. So we're not doing too bad. Like it's sort of stagnating at the moment, and we're gradually getting better and better. You know, as we move forward. You know, so hopefully, like by the end of June, we'll have most of the people we've vaccinated by the end of June with a bit of luck. You know.
Yeah.
So I still haven't. I still haven't got my first vaccination yet. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll get my first vaccination, and I'll probably have to get, you know, the second one there probably 4 weeks later, you know. So and then the EU are bringing in like they're going to try and bring in some sort of green passport for people to be able to travel, you know. So and that's probably going to be again that'll probably, for Ireland we're a little bit behind again. It's probably going to be August before that happens, you know. England yesterday, they allowed people to travel. Like there's some green countries, the likes of say Portugal, Israel, New Zealand, Australia, like, but they're not letting people into New Zealand, Australia yet, you know.
Okay.
But even with the traveling, you know, you still have to be careful. Even with the traveling, you know, you have to make sure that you know, make sure you protect yourself. Even when you, let me tell you, I got on the plane. Because I went like 2 weeks ago to North Carolina to my cousin's wedding. I got on the plane. I had my Lysol and everything, and I'm spraying down the seat and everything. Flight attendant came to me, "Miss, we already sterilized the plane for you. You don't have to do that." I said, "Well, you know, a little extra is not going to help to spray some more on the seat or whatever. You know, you have to make sure you have your stuff with you, wipes, everything.
Yeah.
So when you go to the bathroom, you wipe stuff down. You spray things down. Don't get lax." Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
It's Shannon. It's Shannon.
COVID-19 has changed how we express our faith and gather to worship. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to spreading the word without spreading concern. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions.
Should I get it?
Is it safe?
Should I wait?
It's smart to question. Now, get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
We're back with our Hot Topics Real Talk. Now, Lenny, before we went to break, you had mentioned that you still had not gotten your vaccination yet. Is that because that you had to wait for a certain time? Are they going by age, or are they going by what? Why is it taking so long?
Yeah, they're going like they vaccinated the health workers first, and then they're going by age. And then they wanted to make sure all the nursing homes were done first. So again, they're gradually going down by age. So right now we're at around 50 years of age there. So you can it might be 49 today that you can register to get vaccinated now.
Wow.
So are the people anxious about getting vaccinated, or they really don't rushing it that much? They don't care whether they get vaccinated or not.
Well, first of all, with the EU there was only a certain amount of vaccines for each country. So we had to sort of wait till all the vaccines were here. So we got a couple of different vaccines, like you got the Pfizer, the Johnson & Johnson, and the AstraZeneca. So it just depends, you know, if you're lucky enough to get, I think it's the Johnson & Johnson there, that's the one that you get, that you only have to do it once. So.
Well, now over here, they're talking about vaccinating the children. So
Yeah.
I don't know how parents feel about their kids being, vaccinated at that early age. I think I would have a problem with it. I don't know if I would vaccinate my child at a, early age, like less than a teenager.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I
mean,
don't think
I
I
don't
would
even know
do
about the
it.
teenager.
I
I'm
mean,
not comfortable with vaccinating my 14-year-old.
You
no.
what?
I'm not comfortable with the thought of
Mhm.
vaccinating my son at 14 years old. It's your choice. It's people's choice, but I'm not going to have my son vaccinated.
Mhm.
So what happens when he gets to go to school and they want you to prove he's been vaccinated?
I don't think they're going to ask that because then there are a lot of
They
they
can't force you.
they can't force you to get
Mhm.
vaccinated. I know that the general rule is to get vaccinated for the measles and all those different other shots. They let kids leave the school, but I don't think it's going to be a force to. They're going to enforce it to tell kids they can't come to school because you didn't have the COVID vaccination.
Yeah, they can't do that.
Yeah,
They can't do that.
I don't think
Yeah.
so either. And I
They
agree
can't
with
do
you.
that. It's
Yeah.
against the law. You can't do that. They can ask the parents, to have it done, but only thing they doing now is testing them for COVID. Like
Yeah.
they give them the COVID test in
Yeah.
school.
Right. So
But
why?
you-
So why is it easy for the universities to mandate for the students to return back? They need to show proof of vaccination.
I guess because they probably is in more crowd with each other talking and gathering and because they be all in the study hall, they be at their games, they be at events. Like, the children, they come to school, they have them social distance, but not as what, not the 6 feet, not the 6 feet anymore because they don't have as much space. But at least they just come and they spend a couple of hours in school and they go home.
But I also think it's because the COVID really affected a certain popular age demographics. So it wasn't really where you heard a large number of children. So it was a certain population of ages that were affected. So, and they'd have a large amount of in the colleges and in the buildings and stuff like that. So they're sticking to that age demographics. And now when they're going with the younger age, 14, I think it's 12 and to 16, it's your choice as a parent. But, some parents no.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't think I would either. And even if I was pregnant, I don't think I would get it even if I was pregnant.
No, no, definitely not.
But you're not, Lottie, right?
That'd be a miracle.
Unless you got something to tell us, Lottie, no?
Let me tell you, if I was pregnant, that would be the miracle of the Bible. I'm telling you.
You would have to be suing somebody like me.
Listen.
Daddy didn't have a
Never over until
baby
it's
brother.
over, Lottie, remember that.
No, because I think, excuse me, I think we need to, need to think about this. Like I said, particular women that's pregnant and then little children. I think we need to kind of think about all of that. We want to keep them safe. We don't want anything to happen to them or whatever. But even though I took the vaccine, but I'm still thinking about, okay, now what did I take? Is this thing gonna do something to me 10 years from now, 5 years from now? I'm still thinking about all of that kind of stuff, even though I went ahead and took the vaccination, but the vaccine, but I wouldn't take no vaccine if I was pregnant, and I wouldn't give it to my children.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't either. It was just done too fast for me. It was not enough studies or testing done, and I want to wait it out and see what happens.
No.
Exactly, because always it's always years later when you find out something's happened.
Exactly.
It's one of the reasons that people are more reluctant to take vaccine is because the historical component attached to it, and then all the chatter over the years with the depopulation. So it's like becoming worried and everything now becoming profitable. It's like we're gonna make some money. There's opportunity. This is the way we get this depopulation, and they got all these other. And I wouldn't really necessarily say it's the conspiracy theory, because these are things that came straight off the horse's mouth. And this is why the reason why a lot of people are leery about these vaccinations.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't tell you everything up front. Because now, truthfully, if I'd have known that it didn't only last a year, I wouldn't have taken it. I would have never taken it. Because now after I took it, then they were sitting up there talking about, it only lasts about a year, so you're going to need to get a booster shot. Now, I'm not getting no booster shot. What am I getting a
Exactly.
booster shot for? But if I'd have known that it was only going to be for less than a year,
Mhm.
no, I would not have taken it. No,
Lottie, did
no.
you have any side effects?
Not on the first one. The second one, I only had like some cramps in my leg. Like the second day, I had cramps in the leg. But look, I had my little ointment, my deep ointment, you know, that old-fashioned ointment, and I rubbed them good at night for like 2-3 nights, and they were fine. I didn't have no problem after that. I didn't have any problem after that. Look, I went into my old-fashioned ointments and put them on there, and then after that, I was fine. You know
What
I'm
was
saying?
it, Vic?
Huh? No,
What was
not
it, Vic? Because everybody
No.
used Vic.
no. It's called Deep. DEEP. It's called Deep. I'm telling you, it's really good for muscle aches and all of that kind of stuff. It's really good. So
Some
order that.
backwoods stuff.
Yeah, huh?
Some backwoods stuff they make it
Exactly.
deep out.
Well, she really went back and dug up stuff in the roots.
Exactly. You know how your grandparents used to have all that old-fashioned ointment to use to rub you in. So all that stuff in the drugstore, please ain't doing nothing. Please, you go back in the days when your grandparents had that ointment stuff and put it on, you would be fine. But different people had different effects. Like one of my friends, he said he slept like the next day, like all day. My other girlfriend, she said she was having problems with her stomach. She was having stomach cramps and stuff like that. So I guess, it depends on the individual person. And then some people say they didn't have, any after effect at all.
But Lottie, did they all get the same vaccine?
Yeah, they all got Pfizer. It seemed like all of us got Pfizer, but it just affected people differently.
The one that they said they had questions about, right?
No, that was Johnson.
No,
Johnson.
that was Johnson.
Yeah. Now I knew from day one that it was going to be a problem with Johnson and Johnson. They couldn't even make baby powder. So why would I take a vaccine from them?
Exactly.
Well, everybody wanted Johnson & Johnson because it was only one time shot.
Yeah, but I said, how could all that save you in one shot? I was Larry from his first.
You got to look at the difference too. Johnson & Johnson versus Pfizer, Moderna, the different type of vaccines. One is the mRNA and the other one is adenovirus. It's a different vaccine. It's a different vaccine. So I can understand why they wanted one shot versus the 2 shots. But what is the long-term effects of all 3? And the AstraZeneca and all the other ones that come up there? Because the thing is people talk about the mRNA in terms that they could just do something in the computer and do things because it's the mRNA. That's my really biggest concern. But then again, like Lottie always said, you got to have faith, have positive, and move forward, and just wish the best because you don't know what's going to happen 30 years ago.
Exactly. See, that's why I said about all this. Look. I believe in my faith because I do believe in my faith. And I said, that's why I say I ain't taking no more shots. I ain't taking no boosts or anything. I'm just going to wait. And look, if he comes for me, then I figured that was just my time. That was just my time to go.
Amen.
So that's how I'm going to look at it. Because I was like, I am not going to keep putting all of that stuff in my system and stuff like that. But Shara, hey Shara, how you doing? Shara was asking us about how we felt about taking off the mask, but we had said earlier, I'm not taking mine off, Shara. I'm going to wear mine a little bit.
No, I still walk with mine.
I have mine.
I'm going to have mine on.
I mean, when you're taking a walk in an area where it's open, that's fine. But stores and buses, if you're in trains or whatever you're taking on, my mask is on. I was on a bus with someone that didn't have a mask on. And he was like, oh, I forgot mine. And you know what I said? I walk with extra. And he said, I don't need it. And his wife said, don't be stupid. And she took it and put it on his face. Come on, man.
He said he didn't need it. He said he didn't need it.
And he snuck on the back of the bus.
That means he didn't forget it. He
didn't have no intention.
No, he had no intention.
He snuck on the back of the bus. The bus driver didn't see him, but I saw him.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, why did the bus driver even allow him to get on the bus with no mask?
He snuck on the back. The bus driver didn't see him. I saw him. I'm the checker.
Oh, he came on the back and through the back of the bus.
And I said, hey, where's your mask? At this point, I'm waiting.
Listen, Jacqueline, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful today.
I know.
In New York, people,
they going crazy over this mask thing.
He wasn't a New Yorker. You could do that on. You can't do do that to New Yorkers. You do it to people that was strangers. He wasn't from New York, and I said, you need to wear your mask. And he said he didn't have it. Then I passed him one. Here. you don't do that straight up to people that are from New York.
Exactly.
Tell a New Yorker you don't have a mask on.
People
That's how you get to go.
kind of stuff. People get crazy out there.
I know. As soon as you mention mask.
Yeah, but then look how sad that is. Look how sad that is that people actually get hurt, you know, over something like a mask or something like that. Because you remember back when it was really, really bad, the pandemic,
that was fighting.
People were still coming in the stores and stuff with no mask on, and people would say something to them, or the people inside the people that work there would say, you know, you have to have your mask on, and they would start arguing and hit. Like, I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, they was getting a lot of Karens.
Because somebody telling you to put your mask on when you know you're not supposed to be in the store without a mask on.
But they don't care.
They didn't wear their mask. A lot of Karens was like, it's my constitutional right. I don't have to wear it.
Well, it's your constitutional right to die, I guess.
You know,
let me tell you those. Well, one thing I don't know about the other airlines, but Delta is strict.
Oh, I love Delta.
When I went to North Carolina, I told you we had to have our mask on, and you had to have it over your nose, right? And so the flight attendant, she was up and down the aisle. If she saw anyone without their mask on, without their mask covering their nose, she said something to them, right? You could only lower the mask when she came by with the drinks and the little snack. You could eat that, then you had to put it right back on.
Yeah.
But there was some lady on there, I guess she was determined to do what she wanted to do or whatever. She didn't have it on the whole time that we was on the flight. But when we landed, this man, representative from Delta, was waiting for her when she got off the plane. So the flight attendant must have called it in or something. And when he was really giving it to her, and he told her, he said, look, you might not take this serious, but we do, because the people on this plane, we are responsible for their lives. And if you can't follow our rules, then I'm going to ban you from flying Delta. That's what he told her. I was like,
Delta.
So you stayed behind and listened to all of this.
I did, because I wanted to hear myself.
Yeah, I was listening too. I was right there.
First of all, he was not talking low. He wasn't talking loud, but he was letting her have it. Yeah. And I said, oh my God, you know, and like it's right. Like, you responsible for our lives on that. What, you keep your mask up over your nose like they told you.
Yeah.
You don't get on the plane and not follow the rules of what they tell you. So I don't know if he banned it or not. I think he did.
Well, he went in the computer. He did go in the computer.
Yeah.
He said before we leave,
he was going to ban it.
To sit in your same seat, because they going by your seat number to ban you in your name.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, anyway, we have been banned because that's the end of the show.
Exactly.
So we've been banned. So look, that's up to you whether you want to take your mask off or not, or you want to wear it still. That's up to you, each individual person. But think about what you're doing. You know, think about your safety and everything, and you know, make sure you just stay safe and take care of yourself. So we want to thank you for joining the show today. We want to thank Lenny for joining us, Lenny. So we'll see you next time, Lenny. We'll see you next time.
Yes.
So take care. And as always, we'll see you next time. And you can stay around if you watching. You can stay tuned and stay with us for our after show that's coming up next. Take care and see you next time.
See you, thanks.
Today's show is sponsored by Abu's Bakery. If you have a sweet tooth, stop by Abu's Bakery for some delicious cakes and pies.
It's Shannon. It's Shannon. It's Shannon. It's Shannon. It's Shannon. Keeping it real.
Hi, and welcome back to our after show, and hope you enjoyed the first part of the show. Look, I said earlier that I went to North Carolina to my cousin's wedding, and I wasn't gonna go, but I tell you, my daughter said, "Oh, let's go." And I am just so glad that I went to the wedding because it was wonderful. So it was my cousin Rayvon and her husband Josh, Jared's son. So we want to welcome them to the show. Hello.
Hi.
Awesome.
So before we get into talking to you, we want to show them your wedding. Yes, we want to thank my director, Miss Kara Nelson, for that wonderful presentation. Thank you, Kara.
Thank you.
Yes, so look, newlyweds. What is it like to be young and in love?
Great.
It's really great. It's really
How did you and Josh meet? How did you and Josh meet?
We met in school. We went to school at Nightdale High School, so we met there.
Okay, great. Wow. This is how long is it now? 2 weeks now? 2 weeks?
Yeah,
Yes.
going on a month almost.
2 weeks.
And you
Wow.
still together?
No,
You still together?
17 days.
Look, stop being shy. You know what it is to be in love, so stop trying to act like you're all shy and everything. So, tell us what it's like. How you feeling? What does it feel like to be Mrs. Jared's son?
It feels great actually. It feels really good. It's nice, different, but nice. I like it, and I'm enjoying it.
What you mean different? What that mean? What's different?
It's different from being, I guess, dating to being married, because now it's like you're actually committed. So it's like having that actual, I guess, peace, knowing that you're actually in a fully committed relationship is like the nice part, the enjoyment of it.
So Josh,
Yes.
we want to hear a word from you. What is it like to be off the market now?
I've been on the
Officially.
market for years, for quite some time now. It's a blessed feeling, to be honest. And being married, the day that I got married to her, that's when I knew I actually fell in love with her all over again.
Oh. Oh.
I tell you,
Is it easy? Is it an easy transition now going into being, husband and wife? Because you're dating, and it seems like everything is pretty much going to be the same.
You feel more blessed and more complete to me personally. I feel like we're now one. Before it felt like we was acting, like playing house. Now I actually feel like we're one.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Josh, that's a new one, Josh, playing house. Oh,
They've been saying that.
now let me ask: have your goals for the future changed as versus dating and now husband and wife thinking as one?
No, not really. because we kind of already set goals before getting married, I guess. So now that we actually got married, it's just more of a push to go ahead and continue. If that makes
What are
sense.
some of those goals? What's some of the goals that you have put together that you're gonna work together on to build your future?
My financial goals changed a little bit, but
Well, we want to know so we'll know how to make some money too.
Yes.
like before it was, I didn't have a problem spending money on Rayvon, but now I feel like we could grow financially together as one. She can learn a lot more stuff that I know, sharing income and doing a lot more things. A goal for me is generational wealth. Having the chance to retire, her family, my family, and having funds for my daughter and her kids.
Well,
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm glad you say generation of wealth because Vanessa, that's the guru. That's the guru there. So she can tell you about that because that's her goal.
Listen, I'm all about building that generational wealth because a lot of families, especially particularly Black and brown families, are constantly living in generational debt. So now it's trying to change and pivot and change that tone about building our families into generational wealth. And it starts from home. It starts from within, and it's good. I believe your child is very young, so you can bring her up in the midst of being financially free and managing money and things like that. So it's good. I'm proud to hear that a young couple like yourself is walking that path to build that generational wealth, because that's what it's all about, building that legacy.
Yes, I agree, because you're also a young couple, so you have many, many years to work together to build that generational wealth. So you're starting off, on a good foot. So I wish both of you the best of luck.
Absolutely.
And the good thing about getting married at this stage, of your life and everything, and you feel now that you have met your soulmate and you married your soulmate, is that to work together as one, not working together separately. Because when you work together as one, you will build your wealth much faster, and you appreciate it more. Because I think in marriage, we have to really learn to work together with each other. We got to support each other, whatever that other person wants, whatever the husband wants, whatever the wife wants. We have to support each other in whatever it is we want to do. And especially when you're trying to build and make money and stuff like that, each person has to learn what the other person knows as well. Because even though you're working together and building, you still want to be, building yourself, your career as well. Because it doesn't mean you still can't have some independence of yourself and lose who you are. But when you come together, it's just so beautiful when you can work together and sit down at the table, bring the pencil and paper, the pads, and say, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. And and set some goals of how long it's going to take to get there, even though it might be stumbling blocks along the way, but at least you're on the same track with each other. That's what's important. And I know I've heard a lot of stuff about Josh and his about your goals of what you want to do and how you're going to build your wealth and everything. And I mean, it was just so heart-wrenching listening, because I'm saying, they always talking about our young males are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And we never talk about the young males that's doing good and great things. They never get shown and said, look, this is someone who has done something for themselves or whatever, because all of us didn't come from a silver spoon. I mean, our parents, all they did was work, make sure that we had a roof over our shoulder and clothes. If we know now what we know now, so we can give this to our kids, and in this way, they know how to work and build wealth.
But but the thing to add also to building wealth is, I hope your in your agenda is to build those multiple streams of income and use them as a symphony, because everyone knows that one stream of income is hazardous to our wealth.
Our goal is 7. That's the goal.
Yeah. To have 2. How many income, Vanessa? You said we got to have at least 9.
You said 9. She said 9.
Yes, 9. The minimum.
Vanessa said we have 9 incomes.
9 would be nice, but 7 is my goal.
7
Okay,
incomes in your goal.
Yes.
But you
Oh,
know,
but that's a good.
that's a good
good.
number too.
That's
But you
good,
know-
Josh. That's good.
Mhm. But you know, you mentioned about saving for your daughter, right? So you know, in a home-based business, you can hire your child and let her buy the things that you would normally buy for her
Yes.
and get your money back.
She's on my
Absolutely.
credit card now. She has an IRA.
From now.
Yes.
No, that's the thing, Josh, because we did the same thing with Bree. We got her little debit card now in her little account, so she
Yeah,
get
you
her
know how
money.
to control her shopping.
Credit.
She got her grandma jeans when it comes to shopping.
She got a bank account too, but no, she's on my credit card. So you know, when you add someone to your credit card, it gives them the years of history.
Mhm.
By the time she's 18, she should have about 30 years of history. She has an IRA that's maxed out in the 529 that we're working on.
Oh, that's good.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
But little Miss Ray Vaughn, you know, she's going to be an entrepreneur. She's sitting there like you know, she's not have nothing to say, but she's becoming an entrepreneur. So why don't you tell us about this entrepreneur thing that you about to come into?
Well, you know, starting next month, hopefully I'll be joining Paul Mitchell School for cosmetology. And then from there, I'm going to be furthering my mother's business at Heavenly Touch to take over her business.
Oh, excellent. Nice.
So hopefully, you know, within the next year or so, we'll be working on that path to get everything situated with that.
Well, let me tell you something, honey. Anybody watching that, if you ever go to North Carolina, you make sure you look up that salon. It is beautiful. She has everything in there, the massages, your nails, your hair, your toes, whatever needs to be done, it's in that salon, and it is beautifully decorated. I mean, it's like when you walk in there, look, you think you in California, in Hollywood somewhere or something.
What's the name again? Heavenly Touch?
It's Heavenly Touch Salon and Spa.
And what
Heavenly
part of
Touch
North Carolina?
Salon and Spa. Let me tell you, when you go in there, it's like once you sit down and you want to get your hair done, your nails, you want to get everything done.
It's heaven,
So
right?
look, I know if Rayvon takes it over, run it with her mother, or she take it over herself, I know she'll do a good job because her mother is a businesswoman and she don't play. And she know what she's doing. And so if she's willing to turn it over to you, that means she knows that you're going to come in and do what you need to do. And so now here we got two entrepreneurs. She's an entrepreneur. Josh is doing his look.
They're gonna be.
Josh, you got the uncles? You have any uncles?
Yes. Let's get home then.
Yeah.
We got to watch out what Lonnie asking for. We got to be careful.
I know, right? I ain't got time for
Okay. Look, we have to go, but look. Well, I'm serious. Now, if you got an uncle, let me know. But we have to go, you know, and I thank you so much, you know, for taking the time to come on and talk to us. And, you know, we just happy about Young Love. And I just want to thank you and your parents again for inviting us, you know, to the wedding. I really needed it. I didn't know I needed it. I had been shut up so long. I didn't even know I was depressed or whatever. But I tell you, I really, really enjoyed the family when I was there. And I needed those laughs, and it was I just had just a wonderful time. I wish I could have stayed the whole week, but we had to get back. But look, I will be back another time soon. But, you know, just take care of each other. Remember, you take care of each other. And don't let nobody come between you or whatever.
Absolutely.
So thank you for coming on and sharing your memories. The wedding was beautiful. And thank you so much again for inviting us to the wedding. So look. As always, we'll see y'all next time. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.